Hey, St. Patrick's Day, right around the corner. You know what that means? Everybody wants to be Irish. Well, guess what? Me too. And I'm going to show you how to make the best, authentic shepherd's pie. So stay tuned, I'm going to show you how. Hey, in just a few short days, we're going to be celebrating another St. Patty's Day. And, that time of year where everybody kind of wants to be Irish, well, why not? The Irish seem to know how to throw a good party. I mean, come on, they can take a funeral and turn it into a huge party. We celebrate the Irish and all that they contribute to America and all that they brought. And one of the things that they brought, besides their hard work and dedication, is their cuisine. And see, last year I did the bangers and mash. The year before we did the corned beef and cabbage. This year I'm going with one of the all-time Irish classics. I mean, if you can't find this in an Irish pub, then I don't think it's an Irish pub. I don't know. Shepherd's pie, okay? Not cottage pie. I'm doing shepherd's pie. The difference between cottage and shepherd's, cottage would be using ground beef. Today I'm using ground lamb, so thus shepherd's pie. And the cool thing about shepherd's pie, there's so many different variations. I mean, even in the local villages, you have neighbors kind of battling each other for who makes the best shepherd's pie or cottage pie. And you can find so many different variations, and they like to have little competitions, and so that's the cool thing. But I'm going to tell you right now, the main act in this show is the potatoes. Lots of potatoes. We're going to be, I've got 6 potatoes over here. I'm going to be making enough shepherd's pie to make at least 4 portions. So I usually go like a potato and a half for each portion. So potatoes are the hit here, and everything else is just kind of what you can kind of grab and get into the pot to make your shepherd's pie. There's, like I said, there's many different versions. So in addition, what I'm going to be doing today, my version, I'm going to soup it up a little bit, kind of give it a little bit more depth, where I'm going to go ahead, when I make my gravy, I'm going to add a little bit of Guinness, okay, a little Irish Stout there, to help make my gravy a little bit more flavorful. Into my potatoes, I'm going to add an egg yolk, and I'm going to add some nice Irish cheddar cheese over here. That'll give it a little more flavor, and it also help make that potato, once it's baked off, come out really nice and golden brown. So got a few things going. This, again, like most of my items that I make, it goes pretty fast. I mean, it's not very hard. Yeah, there's a few ingredients here, but once we get going, you're just going to see how easy it is to pull it all together. So without further ado, let's get going. What do we got? All right, I already talked about the lamb. I already talked about the cheddar cheese. I've got some peas over here. I got one onion that I've diced up. I've got 2 stalks of celery that I diced up. I've got 2 fresh carrots that I diced up. I have 3 garlic cloves that I minced up. And I have about a tablespoon of fresh thyme. We got some good Irish butter going on over here. Of course, we talked about the Guinness. I got some milk for the potatoes. I got 1 egg yolk over here. And I'll get a little green onion to finish it off with, and a little salt and pepper, and that is it. Sounds simple, right? Well, it is. I'm going to go ahead and get the potatoes on. I'm going to start them off in cold water. If you start them off in warm water, they tend to get grainy sometimes, so I'm going to go ahead, get my potatoes going. Then once they're on their way, I'm going to go ahead and start burning off my lamb, get my veggies in there, get the gravy going. That will be the base, and then we'll pull it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and get these potatoes on. We'll be right back, and we'll start sauteing off. We are back. Now let's go ahead and we'll get some butter in here. And I got 3 tablespoons of butter. Going with just a little bit of oil. We're going to add a little bit of fat to this. I want to get a nice little browning on the bottom of my lamb. With browning comes flavor. All those nice little brown bits going to help us create the gravy. Okay, my butter is foaming. Going to go ahead and get my lamb in the pan. break this up a little bit. Now I'm using 1 pound of ground lamb. Luckily, my local grocery store carries it. If not, I would have had to buy some lamb and grind my own. Okay, I'm going to switch over to my my meat masher here. Try to spread this out a little bit. Okay, this is coming along nicely. The meat on top is starting to become opaque. I'm going to go ahead, put my onions in here, spread them out, let them start to sweat a little bit. I'm just going to build flavors here. This is smelling fantastic. The smell of ground lamb, I just love. Some people can't stomach lamb. Okay, well, switch gears, go with cottage pie. Use ground beef. You could even use ground turkey. All right, in go my carrots and my celery. Give them a little spread. I'm not turning this yet. I want some browning on the bottom of this. I'm just kind of spreading things out. Alright, we'll let that go for a minute or so. We'll check on it, see if I got some browning going on in the bottom, and then we'll go ahead and do some stirring on this and flipping over, what have you. Looking and smelling good so far. Oh, how could I forget? I forgot my peas. Didn't go with my peas. Sitting here right in front of me. There's always something I'm forgetting. Always. And guess what? I forgot another ingredient. Actually 2. In goes my garlic. I'm in forgetful mode today. I don't know. I didn't get enough sleep last night. And my thyme. There we go. Not to worry, at least I got it in there. Still got some cooking left to do, so we're good. Probably at this point I'll go ahead and give it some ground pepper as well. Not going in with any salt. Like always, I kind of hold off on the salt. I've got salt in with my potatoes. I'm also going to be salting the potatoes when you go to mash them. And since I've got some cheese going into my potatoes, I'm going to hold off on the salt. So we'll give things a taste a little bit later and see where we're at and go from there. Okay, we're getting some brownish going on here. I'm going to go ahead and start giving this a stir. Break this up a little bit more. Smelling fantastic. I'm going with my masher again. Break up some of these bigger chunks. Okay, time to start building the gravy. Now, there is a bit of fat that is rendered out in here already. Now, if I'm going to be making gravy, obviously I'm going to be adding some flour. So, probably going to go in with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour. It looks like there's enough fat in here now to absorb that flour so that we can make a roux. And we'll just give it a little sprinkle. That should be good. Gonna go ahead and mix this in. Let that flour absorb some of that fat. Carrots are cooking down nicely. Peas are cooking nicely. Got some beginning of some good num-nums going on here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add a bit of water, probably about a ½ cup. At the same time, I'm going to go ahead and add about another ½ cup of my Guinness. Alright, that should tighten up nicely. And if I need to thin it down any more, I don't know, water or beer. We'll taste it and check. This is thickening up nicely. Do you see this? And if you could smell it right now, that Guinness, that lamb, the onions, the garlic. We got it going on. I'm going to go ahead and cut this flame down just a little bit. There we go. Let that simmer a bit. The gravy is tightening up nicely. This is going to be a beautiful base for our shepherd's pie. Let me go ahead and give it a taste here. See what I need to add. Keeping in mind I haven't added any salt yet. It needs some salt. Not too much, but it needs some. Give that a stir. The consistency is just about perfect right now. I do not need to thin this down. Alrighty, this is just about done. My potatoes got a little more cooking to do. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to totally cut this off, let it hang out a bit, and we'll come back when the potatoes are done, give them a good mash, and pull this together. So we will be right back. So while my potatoes have about another minute to cook, I went ahead and took my 1 egg yolk and added just a little bit of milk, mixed it all together, getting my ingredients ready for mashed potatoes. So about 1 more minute, we'll be ready to go. I got my egg yolk, got my cheese ready, got my milk, my butter, salt and pepper if I need it, and we'll go from there. So about another minute and we'll be rolling through the rest of this shepherd's pie. Potatoes are done. Time for some mashing. So what I'm going to do is I have my ricer all set up here. Just going to go ahead and get a potato in here, maybe 2. Get the rice in this up. Get all of our other ingredients in there. Makes a nice, creamy, flavorful mashed potatoes for our shepherd's pie. So I'll get through this in a little bit of YouTube time, which is wicked fast, and we'll move on. Okay, potatoes are all riced up. We'll get the cheese in here, get all my butter. It's about 8 tablespoons of butter. A pinch of salt, a little bit of milk. If I need to add more milk, I will. Just a little for right now. Going with my egg. Almost like we're making Duchess potatoes here. Alrighty, give this a mix. Creamy. I don't think I've used my my stand mixer for mashed potatoes since I bought my ricer. It just doesn't make any sense. It just comes out so nice and fluffy. Look at this, it's getting nice and golden. Oh, that little bit of cheese, that 1 egg yolk, game changer. All right, a little bit of pepper. Like I said, the potatoes are the star of the show. Maybe a little bit more milk. Just a little. We're just about there. Alright, I gotta try it. Woo! Star of the show, right there. Now it's time to assemble the pie. So, some people put a little layer of potatoes on the bottom. I don't want to do it. I want to build it up. I want that potato sitting nice and high. I don't want 2 thin layers of potato in here. So, go in with our meat mixture. It's just smelling fantastic. Spread this out. Get this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, nice and flat. Now, we're going with our potatoes. Just kind of put some dollops all alongside and up and down, because I really don't want to disturb the meat mixture, the base. I don't want any of that meat coming to the top. So we'll spread this out. Got golden these potatoes look. These were russets. I tried to find some nice golden potatoes, some golden Yukon. Didn't have them. I mean, they had some, but they were really small. Now it's time to smooth this out. I'm using a little offset pie cutter here, or pie server, and a cutter. It's got a serrated edge on it. I'm going to smooth that out. I'm going to use the tip to make a little decoration inside. That's the way I roll. Nice coverage. Now in for the decoration. There she blows, looking pretty. I have my oven set for 425. We'll pop this in for about anywhere between 15-20 minutes, and we should be money. So we will be right back, and we're gonna have some beautiful shepherd's pie coming out. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Grab yourself a Guinness or something. I'll be back. It is that time, and look at this. Now this pan's hot, so I don't want to burn myself, but look at that. Look at that beautiful browning. It smells awesome. And I'm going to have to let it cool down just a little bit before I get into this, because I don't want to burn the heck out of my mouth. And yeah, like I said, you know, many different versions. In my version, I add the Guinness to the gravy, and the Irish cheddar cheese to the potatoes. You know, do what you want. You know why? Because you can. Right, Ben? You can. Anyways, we're going to give this about another, I don't know, minute to cool down just a little bit. Maybe set up a little bit. We'll get a piece out of here. Get on the plate. And then we'll go ahead and give this a sample. Because if it tastes anything like it smells right now, this is money. So we'll be back in just a few minutes, or a minute, to give this a try. I'm trying to try this out. See if I can get this out of here. It's a nice crispiness to the edges. Oh yes. Oh yes. Look at that beauty. Came out all in one piece too. I spilled a little bit. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of color here. You know, nice little touch. And wow. Give this some smell-o-vision going on there. It's looking so good. Smelling so good. Ready for me to go ahead and let me try this piece of potato I dropped. Money. Moment of truth. Let's go in and give this a try. It's still hot. I know I'm going to burn my mouth. Oh my God. Oh my God. Words don't even describe. This here is off the charts banging. That lamb, it's not too strong. It's just right. The veggies, the Guinness gravy, the cheddar mashed potatoes, it's all happening. And you saw how easy it is to make this. You know, in an hour, you've got nice, traditional shepherd's pie. If you don't want the lamb, go ahead and make a nice traditional cottage pie. So hey, this episode shout outs to all you Irish Americans out there serving in our military, past and present, and for all the well that you've done, all the hard work that you put in, and all that you provide to this country and your culture and everything goes along with it. Thank you for your service. So hey, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, most importantly share. And right over here, bing, go ahead and hit that logo. It makes it so much easier to subscribe to my channel. So until next time, thanks, and we'll see you. Have fun on St. Patty's Day.